The Explosion Hero Kacchan by ATiredAndDeadWriter. Read by Niche-lle. Trigger warning, mentions of past suicide. Summary. Bakugo is once again visiting Izuku's grave on the 5th anniversary of his death. He only hopes Izuku is proud of him. A recently debuted hero stood alone in the graveyard. He came to this spot ever since Midoriya Izuku was added to the growing collection of stones. That day was precisely 5 years ago today. The hero remembered the last time they spoke as clearly as he remembered his recent graduation from UA. Bakugo sprinted after Deku, yelling his name between panting breaths. "I never asked for your help!" His voice started as a rumble and slowly growing into a yell. "And you didn't help me, got it? I was fine by myself. You're a quirkless failure playing without a full deck. Don't think you can look down on me. Are you trying to make me owe you? Don't look down on me!" He spun around and stomped off slowly and angrily. "You damn nerd!" He wasn't sure what happened after that. He just remembered going home and yelling at his parents, who smothered him in anger and comfort after they saw the sludge villain attack on TV. Of course, he expected to see Deku the next day at school, but he wasn't there. Before he knew it, his mother was carefully telling him that Deku was gone, treating him as if he were glass. Nobody ever did tell him how Deku died, but his own words of advice rang in his ears for months after the funeral. "Pray you'll be born with a quirk in your next life, and take a swan dive off the roof of the building." Nobody ever told him how Deku died after all, so after the funeral, all he could feel was guilt. He buried it under layers and layers of determination and pride, scoffing at anyone who tried to help. It only got worse after he saw an article on Quirkless Suicides of the Year that contained Izuku's name, confirming his worst fear. It really was his fault. Of course, once he was at UA, Aizawa wouldn't stand for his explosive behavior. And after so many attacks, his whole class was put into therapy. Unfortunately for him, that's where everything came spilling out to his poor therapist. The guilt was eating him alive. The despair was drowning him from the inside out. The feeling of helplessness consumed him. Luckily, his friends, or extras, in 1A were there to support him. They made him realize that, yeah, he contributed, but he wasn't the blame for Izuku. He was also allowed to grieve. He's still Bakugo. He still explodes and yells and swears and wants to win. But he's accepted that being a hero is more than winning and being the best. Being a hero like Deku, or Izuku, is also important. He wanted to save civilians from people who like he used to be. He wanted to save people and win and protect everyone he could reach. So he's softer, and he smiles at the people he saves and tells them not to be afraid, like Deku would have. "Hey Izuku, I'm back," he whispers to the grave as he crouches down. "You'll never believe how much of a dad Aizawa is. Eri's doing well, by the way. You'd be so proud of her. Ever since I saved her from Overhaul, she's been working on controlling that quirk of hers, and she's come so far. I think she'll make a great hero someday." He pauses and pulls at the grass near his crossed ankles. "I think I've finally done it, Izuku." He smiles softly, knowing that it's a rare smile. A smile just for Izuku. "I've finally become the hero you wanted me to be. I debuted officially recently, but I saved so many people before that from the mess that was the League. I wish you'd been there. Your crazy notebooks would have helped a lot." His graduating class knew he'd lost someone named Izuku, but only the self-proclaimed Baku Squad knew the whole story. Kirishima had even been to the grave with Bakugo once, for what would have been Izuku's 16th birthday, so they knew not to bother him when he disappeared to visit his dead friend. He'd sit and talk for hours when he visited. Sometimes he'd bring flowers, or a candle, or food that he'd eat as he sat and talked. "I've saved so many people, Izuku," Bakugo murmured. "I protected people with my strength. I know I never protected you. Not really. And I'm so sorry for that." He shook, but no tears fell. "Fuck! I treated you like shit, but now I'm a hero. I'm a good fucking hero, too." He took a gasping breath. "My debut was awesome, by the way. You would have loved the way I shouted my hero name to the world as I exploded a villain and saved a bunch of hostages. You would have been an amazing hero, Izuku." Tears finally splashed the ground, and he growled, swiping his face. "Anyway, I've protected so many people. and beat so many villains, and won so many times. And no, idiot, I'm not the #1 hero yet. Shitty bird brain Hawks is #1, I think. He pauses again, thinking. You know, for all the people I've saved, I never was able to save you, to protect you, to help you, because you're gone. Bakugo smiled with grim determination. Just know I'm the hero I am because of you, okay, Izuku? He smiled, remembering picking his hero name. I would have thought you'd pick something dumb like Lord Explosion Murder or something, Mina blurts out, causing Class 1A to stifle their laughter and snorts. You wanna fucking go, Raccoon Eyes? I don't need your shitty opinion. Whoa, calm down, Baku bro. She's just messing around. Kirishima smashes his fists together with a grin. Besides, I think Kacchan is a super manly name. Kacchan's so cutesy. I can't believe you'd pick something like that. Kaminari snorted, and then cringed in preparation. He was expecting yelling, maybe a "Damn it, dunce face!" for the comment, but instead of an explosion, suddenly the class grew serious as Bakugo remained silent, fists clenched. So, Bakugo, obviously I approve. So cute and perfect. But what's the reasoning behind this cutesy name, Midnight swung her hips, but otherwise seemed honestly curious, and that's the only reason the class, or anyone, got an answer. Izuku gave me the name when we were barely a year old. The class hadn't heard of Izuku before, but then again, they'd never seen Bakugo look so soft before either, even speaking with clenched teeth. He died when we were in middle school. Suicide. I didn't get to say goodbye. The soft mood crumpled as his words sunk in. Several gasps rang out, and the teachers tensed. Bakugo took a deep breath and continued tightly. He was going to be a hero. A damn good one, too. And I'm picking Kacchan so, in a way, we can be heroes together. Aizawa was sitting up, alert now. Midnight had a serious yet contemplative look on her face, and the class was in varying levels of shock, awe, grief, and understanding at the new information. I'm sure Izuku would have loved it, Midnight said softly. He definitely would have. Bakugo smiled for the first time in front of his classmates, and they suddenly realized they didn't know the person behind all the anger and yelling at all. Thank you, the hero whispered to the silence, to the person long gone, to the grave he'd knelt at, for showing me what a real hero was, and for saving me that day from the sludge. He shut his eyes and stood, brushing away the remaining tears. Walking out of the graveyard, he inhaled the chilly air and smiled. He hoped Deku was watching him. Hey y'all! I hope you liked this one. I definitely cried the first time I read this. Let me know how it made you feel, how you liked it, and see you in the next one.